Hi everybody, it's me. The Minecraft 1.19 update is adding a lot of new blocks to the game, some of them pretty strange looking. Once this update drops, guarantee it, you're going to want to build with these things. That's where I come in. I've taken the time to come up with 50 different build ideas, hacks, tips, tricks, whatever you want to call them. Here are over 50 1.19 inspo pieces. Let's start with this one. I can't take any credit for it at all because I've seen it on literally every corner of the internet, including the disgusting Minecraft subreddit. I can't lie, the 1.19 mangrove wood block looks definitely like mangrove wood, but it also kind of looks like steak or some kind of meat. Slap a couple sticks on the side of this thing, maybe lightning rods or end rods, a little bit of fire below it, put it inside of a kitchen, and boom, there you go. You're clearly cooking the meat. I can't lie, guys, right now I'm kind of unreasonably obsessed with mangrove roots. I might need a little bit of help. This wall is old, like really old. It's like so old that it's actually falling apart. Looking for the most dilapidated wall design of all time? Look no further, here it is. Start with stripped dark oak wood going a long ways, come back to that wall, add mangrove wood and mangrove roots to it, and look at this thing, it's so brittle, you wouldn't even want to touch it. I love mangrove roots for this building purpose, and a little bonus trick with this one, of course, put blocks behind it to solid it up, but if you take the blocks out from behind the wall, then the mangrove roots look even older, like they're literally about to crumble now. It's kind of a 2-in-1. Alright, so there's absolutely no denying that Minecraft 1.19 mod is definitely mud. It's super useful in farms, but also super useful in builds. The 1.19 mud block is super gray toned, which means it combines like pretty much perfectly with cobbled deep slate and smooth basalt to make a really interesting gray wall. Maybe this could be like the foundation to your most evil castle of all time. Warning, trapdoors. I like trapdoors, but I especially like mangrove trapdoors. I mean, look at that circle in the middle. How could you not love them? This next idea is pure garbage. It's trash. No, like literally like brown concrete in the middle and then trapdoors are on the side, and it's a trash can. It's a crime that I haven't built one in my world, but houses and the decorations inside of them, absolutely love them. Here are a couple different pieces right here. The red sectional. It's mangrove staircase, it's mangrove sign, it's mangrove slab, it's moody, it's great. Over here, I've got a walnut cabinet. The walnut cabinet is actually just mangrove wood. In the back, I have a small lamp that actually doesn't lamp at all. It's just a fence and a trapdoor. Frog lights are lights, which means you could use them for lights. So check this out. 3 of the yellow ones stacked on top of each other with a fence below. Really, any type of fence will work. And these lights, they're like super modern feeling. I like them. But maybe we don't like really do modern builds. That's fine, that's cool. Check this out. We use the trapdoors with a fence below it, any light in the middle. I use sea lanterns this time. That animation is perfect with the trapdoor, and it's a small lamp. Put it on a table. All right, I'm gonna need you to not judge this one. It is emotional, but I can't help but see it. Every single time I look at mangrove bricks, I see a face, so I built the face right here with wood, stairs, slabs, a little bit of concrete, and the eyes right there, and the teeth. The teeth are terrible. We should probably brush our teeth. Yeah. Minecraft 1.19 mud is gray, but Minecraft 1.19 mud brick is brown. A mud brick, pair it with this mushroom block right here, and check out this wall. This is like pretty much perfectly decorated. You could build a brown wall. Maybe this is the base of, I don't know, a building with a brown wall. But don't worry, you're not a fan of the randomized brick thing. I got you. Check this out. Replace those bricks for packed mud, and the wall works too. The packed mud is a little bit less bricky, you know, but it matches like pretty much perfectly. But oh man, that's not the best use for packed mud. 1.19 packed mud, it's a path. Look at this thing. I've been saying this from the start with this stuff. A path right here. Imagine this in like a bigger, more proper grass field instead of a concrete void. It's so simple, like the most simple thing in the world, but a path. You just need this block for a path. It's like literally perfect, especially if you're in the jungle, the plains, or any grassy biome. Maybe you find yourself building in the desert, the savanna, or a more dried out biome though. Well, packed mud is still going to work. Consider using packed mud with path blocks and maybe coarse dirt to create a more dried out, spooky looking path. Mud bricks are brown toned. We talked about this already. What else is brown toned? The most beautiful wood type in the game, spruce wood. Check this out. It's a simple city lantern right here. Spruce wood on the bottom and mud bricks in the middle. The more spruce fences on the top and lanterns. It's perfect. It would impress everybody, but just in case it doesn't, this next idea, you definitely need this in your world. A sign. A sign reminding you to subscribe if you like this video. All right, I feel weird about counting that one. I just won't count it, but it's a great idea. Moving on, mud bricks. Mud bricks are the perfect elbow block if you're setting up some kind of balcony and you want an elbow, but you don't really want to use fences. If you've been following my survival series, you know I've recently built a Coliseum. Something like this would have worked perfectly inside of the Coliseum on those elbows on the second layer, where I put the dark oak fences. Alright, so this next idea, it requires a little bit of setup. I'm calling it Starry Night. So here we are, over at this wonderful house. We walk inside and boom, all of a sudden, it's nighttime outside. With it being nighttime, should probably close the door and maybe sleep. And then when I do that, look at the ceiling. If you're looking for a ceiling design that is really cool looking and also a little bit animated, the sculk block. The sculk block is 100% where it's at. Even better, these things shouldn't be too hard to get in large amounts too. I'm a thief, but this idea, I stole it. I went to the ancient city, I looked around, took a look at the architecture, and then found this beautiful thing right here. This lantern is inside of the ancient city. I went to the ancient city, took a look at the lanterns, made some changes to them, and then we end up with this thing right here. How is it 1.19? Well, check this out. We move around, we got the sculk sensor up top to light this thing up. Maybe you have some kind of grand central path and you want cool lights to turn on and off. This is the way to go. Maybe you have a grand central path and you don't want the lights to turn on and off. Well, then you could replace the sculk sensor with a redstone block. Doing that kind of ruins my vibe because that means it's a 1.18 building idea, and that's not the point of today. So 100%, you need a sculk sensor. Mud and jungle things is kind of like a dream team, one of the best combinations of all time. Here we have a lot of mud bricks, packed mud would work here too, and then tons of jungle things, jungle sign, jungle staircase, jungle fence gate, jungle trapdoor. They combine like so well. If you're doing a mud brick build, remember jungle. Alright, so next up we got a combo plan here. This is like a 5-in-1. Imagine this, you're doing a build and you need ceiling lights, but you want these ceiling lights to be a circle and you want them to be small. Mangrove trapdoor, here it is. Put any light block below the mangrove trapdoor and you've got an interesting looking light. If you want something modern, sea lanterns are great. If you're looking for a warmer feel, glowstone. If you're looking for something that is cool and kind of just decorational, then maybe consider some type of concrete powder below the trapdoor. That could look cool too. The bottoms of blocks are sometimes interesting, except this time. The sculk shrieker, the sculk sensor, the bottom of these two blocks is pretty boring. They basically just look like that sculk block. However, the bottom of the sculk catalyst, oh boy, look at this thing. This is wild looking. Who would have thought that the sculk catalyst block is so interesting looking after looking at those two? If you're going for some kind of modern ceiling, potentially an option. If you're going for a jail or something evil, definitely an option. Welcome to Lantern City, everybody. A little bit of a disclaimer, some of these ideas are a little bit more niche. If you're doing a build in the end and trying to make it look weird, maybe doing a build with lots of sculk, this is great. If you're doing a modern build, maybe not. Either way, idea number 1 has a sculk catalyst and a sculk sensor. Love to show off the bottom of that thing, it's going to be a common theme here. Idea number 2, it has like a backwards hat on or something. It's kind of interesting looking. Idea number 3, lots of trapdoors, it gets a little bit more heavy. I especially like this next idea because I feel like the mud brick spruce combo kind of tones it down a little bit, but we still stay weird at the top with the sculk catalyst and soul lantern. Oh man, soul lantern with the sculk catalyst is like perfect. Now, if you're doing an end city in 1.19 and you don't use this one, it's kind of a crime. Like, it's terrible. You need to use this one. I feel like it's so cool looking with the soul lanterns and the catalysts. It's weird. It makes no sense, and it's perfect. 1.19 is going to be an interesting update because we have all of these strange sculk things that make no sense at all. If you're doing a sculk themed build, maybe in an ancient city and you want some kind of weird fruit from an alien planet, right here. We have the sculk block with sculk vein on top of it, and then I have different colors of candles on the top for stems. You can do black candle, blue candle, or really any color that you'd like. I feel like these ones work the best though. Staying on that weird sculk themed build thing for a minute, first off, wallpaper. I guess to be honest, this could work anywhere, but it looks really, really evil. On the bottom, I have catalyst that kind of creates like wainscoting, and then on the top, I have the sculk block, an animated wallpaper, pretty cool. Now, in the middle, I have an echo shard. If you're lucky enough to find an echo shard, you could use an echo shard in an item frame for some kind of combination lock. The shape is perfect for a pointer, and I think it's pretty cool looking. Listen, don't judge, okay? Like, don't judge. I need help. I need help. It's mangrove wood with a staircase for the nose. We got the hair. We got the eyes. I mean, I can't lie. It's kind of good looking. Sculk shrieker. This one is kind of interesting. You put it in the floor. You have these weird tentacle things coming out of the floor. Then you put something on top that is special to you, like your one and only wither rose. Always forget about those things. Dragon egg. That's kind of cool. Or my head. Oh my gosh, who did that? Well, either way, you put the shrieker on top of it, and it's kind of like holding this thing, but floating this thing, it's weird. How does it work? World may never know. Remember me talking about weird sculk builds? Let's go back to that vibe for a second. Here we have the wonderful, the magnificent sculk balloon. I have glass blocks on the bottom, sculk vein on top of it. Sculk vein is really, really interesting. You can put it on like anything, and then chains on the bottom. Admittedly, very niche, for sure, but if you need balloons, and interesting looking ones too. The overall concept with this one is a little bit bigger though. Remember, the sculk vein can go on like basically anything, kind of like glow lichen, so if you need an extra layer of detail, it's an option. We've been to Lantern City, and it was nice and bright. Now let's go to Chair City. Chair number 1 right here. It's simple. It's spruce trapdoor and mud brick. It looks nice. It's like a fancy throne. A smaller one right here. Remember that jungle duo right there? It's perfect. Let's switch things up. Make it a little bit red. This is nice. It's a nice accent chair. You could have an orange one. Disgusting. Or even better, you could have this one right here. It's great. And then, even more grand and fancy, the mangrove trapdoor. Look at the arching in this thing. Arches are beautiful. You put this with the red tone, it's perfect. And then wait, it gets better. Circle on the side. Yeah, that's great. There are a couple different chair ideas for all of your house decoration needs. I like all of the 1.19 blocks. Like, I think they're great. They're really cool, but maybe packed mud takes the crown for me this update around. Look at this stuff right here. The packed mud on the bottom of the small wall mock-up. I have a deep slate roof. You can do any roof you want, any wall you want. When you're setting up a build, remember packed mud is an option for the base of that build, or mud bricks too. Also, remember to leave a like. Thank you. It helps out huge time. Moving on. Did I tell you yet the mangrove trapdoors? Oh my gosh, mangrove trapdoors have a circle in it. Oh, wait, I said that like 50 times? Sorry about that. Well, anyway, looking at the bigger picture here, these mangrove trapdoors with a circle make perfect windows on a wall. However, they're small windows. Ironically, I think these small windows will work a little bit better on a bigger build. If you do a small build with the small windows, it might look weird. But if you do a big build, like let's say we were building a ship and you put these windows on the lower part of the ship, oh, that's perfect. You don't want a red ship? Not a big deal. Stripped mangrove wood with a trapdoor, it's a stripe. And the stripe has windows in it. I don't know, maybe it's just me or something, but I feel like mud is getting overlooked in 1.19. We have like all of this hype with the cities, all of this hype with the swamps, and then there's mud. Don't forget the mud bricks, the staircases specifically, make an amazing tiled roof. Do you remember when I told you about my first love? Mangrove roots, that would be? Well, mangrove roots are back for this one. We have a gray wall that turns into a brown wall, or the other way around. The mud with the mangrove roots, it's the perfect way to transition the tones. My fellow modern city fans rejoice because the perfect traffic light of all time right here. The circles, the green, the yellow, the red. I don't know if I built that thing upside down or what, but it's a thing. Look, I know they're niche things, maybe not useful in every build, sure, but I have to live up to the title of Head Statue King. Right here, this is the final one, I promise. I don't need any help, I just like to build weird heads in this game. And look at it, it has tentacles on the top, it's so strange, and oh, I think it's smiling, or it's frowning. I can't tell. Okay, no more statues for this video. Please allow me to present you one of the most coziest pond feelings of all time. A couple different ideas in this one. Packed mud makes amazing brown-toned rocks. Depending on what you have going on in the surrounding area, these brown-toned rocks might work a little bit better than your typical gray ones. Next up, frog spawn, the frog egg thing. So this stuff is really cool looking and it adds a nice layer of detail. Unfortunately, this stuff will hatch eventually. And I actually don't know if you can even pick this stuff up, but if you can get the frogs to lay the eggs just for a quick screenshot or something, it's more detail. I don't know if I'll count that one to the total though. Finally, we have sculk things under the ground. The sculk sensors, they kind of flow like kelp and seagrass, kind of cool under the ground. Under the ground, to make the sensors fit in a little bit more, you're going to have to come in with sculk vein on top of things, or maybe just sculk block as well. All of these 1.19 things definitely switch up the vibe though and make it less natural and more like weird or distorted. Maybe it'll work for you though. Mud bricks, and even better, mangrove roots, they're back again. Let's start with the mud bricks. The mud bricks plus spruce wood plus brown candle, it's a really cool looking wall right here. I'm setting this up in like a farm zone. I think it kind of works out. Mud. Remember the mud is a thing? Decorate the ground with mud. Logically speaking, coarse dirt is insanely dry. How we always put coarse dirt on the ground instead of like an animal pen or something? I mean, it works, but it's dry. Mud is wet. And then finally, animal trough. If you're setting up a cow farm, a pig farm, any kind of pen, you put the mangrove root, you waterlog the mangrove root, the water stays inside of it, and look at it. It's kind of cool looking. I don't know what it is with my obsession with balloons, but frog lights. I've been trying to come up with more ideas for frog lights, and it was kind of stumped. So I came up with these balloons right there. That's kind of cool, and they're bright, so at nighttime, that could look nice in the background in the sky. Or frog light melon? Frog light melon, anyone? Anyone? No? Maybe not? Well, that's fine, because look at the numbers. We've done it. We've run the total up all the way. Oh, wait. That's suspicious. Weird. Suspicious, even. Well, anyways, that's all we have time for today. 50 building tips, tricks, ideas, hacks, whatever you want to call them. There you go. Hopefully this helps you enhance your builds or maybe even spark some new ideas. What's another build hack that you've come up with? Do your best. Try and explain it down below. Gotta send a big shout out to the best family, non-family in the world, Patron and Gang, Gabriel Y, Andrew H, Austin V, and Faithful Grimoire. Thank you so much for the support. Until next time, definitely brush your teeth. That's the message here. Definitely brush your teeth or you'll end up looking like this. Goodbye, everyone.